Hi, I'm Stefanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna get it together. Okay, maybe, probably not. Chaotic Compass. Stefanie, what is up, you guys? Gonna adjust my camera here. Oh, and it popped off, and it's fine. It's the magic of the moment. If you were looking for perfection coming here, you have come to the wrong place. It is literally just me winging it, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing all the time. Speaking of not knowing what the hell I'm doing, hey guys, Stefanie, Chaotic Compass Podcast here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing any moment of the day. So we were talking about just I feel like I'm failing in a lot of areas of my life, and I had one of these moments the other night, and I was just like, oh my gosh, just like so much regret, and just like been trying so hard to do this one thing in my area of one avenue of my life, and I've completely failed at it. Or at least I feel like I've completely failed at it. And just it hit me. It hit me really hard the other night, and I was it was one of those nasty hot cries where it's like I'm inconsolable. My husband's like, oh, I don't know what to do with you. But the next day, I mean, I literally was just in a hot state. Like, don't talk to me. I am pissed off of myself that I've failed so hard. And I was in it. I was in this moment of just like, I'm the worst. Nobody is going to love me. I don't even know why anybody comes around me. I was just like super just negative. Not even negative. I was in a super toxic state. I don't even know how I got there. I mean, I know how I got there, but I stayed in that minute for a while. I stayed in that state for a while. And it took me kind of just taking a step back on my own, like, my husband, he tries to help, but it was like nothing you say is gonna help here. Like, you are pissing me off. I'm pissed off at myself. I'm mad that I failed so hard, and not only failed, but I brought my whole family into this moment of failure. And I think that that's what got me. Like, it's not just me failing, right? I'm dragging an ideal place where I wanted to go with my family, and I failed for them. And I was just so fucking pissed off. And it took a minute for me to step back. It took a minute for me to just realize, what the fuck is your problem, Stefanie? Why are you dwelling on this? There was a lot of things that you can control that you do. And you getting up out of this bed is something you can control. And you're literally letting all of this shit weigh you down. And so what do you do? How do you fix this? Stop being this way. I took a step back, and I'm like, why am I upset? Why am I so upset? And it came down that I was just pissed off that I had failed. That I had failed with this plan. I had this grandiose plan, and I failed. And it took me a minute. I was so upset, not at the failure, but about what people, especially my mother, thought about me because I was failing, or her reaction to the negative direction that this failure was going. And that's what I was surrounded by. I was just devastated because I thought one thing And I couldn't get to it in that direction. But somebody at one point in my life was like, there's so many ways to get to the number 4. I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, think about it. You've got the number 4. You could start out with 4. You have 4 apples, or you have 2 and your friend gives you 2, or you had 3 and somebody gives you 1, or you had 1 and somebody else gives you 3. There's numerous directions there's numerous possibilities of how to get to 4 apples. And I thought about it for a minute. It's like, okay, so you can't get to your end result directly, but there potentially could be other ways to get to that. And so now I'm asking deeper questions. I'm asking, what does it look like? I'm pursuing different avenues, maybe jumping through a window instead of opening the door, kind of thing. But what had me down and out, what I thought was the worst, was the fear of failure. And it wasn't necessarily the fear of failure, it was somebody's perception of my failure. I was just devastated. And what does failure look like, right? What does that look like for anybody? Because you didn't get to the finish line of your 5K. I always use the running terminology because I think, not necessarily because I'm a runner. I don't do that shit. If you're first time here, yeah, I don't run. I use that a lot, but I don't run. But I think people can resonate with that. You literally have a start and a finish line. And so you are getting to your finish line, but you didn't reach it in your timeline goal. Like you wanted to do it in this many minutes and you didn't get there. Or you wanted to be married and have kids by your time you were 30. Or you wanted to purchase a house by the time you were 25. Whatever the grandiose goal means, it doesn't mean because you failed. It's still an option. You can still get married and have kids after 30. Like you don't turn into a pumpkin when you turn 30. All the houses don't just dissipate after you turn 25. The finish line doesn't go away. You still ran the 5K. It just means that you've got to look at it at a bigger scale. And I was just beating myself up because I didn't get to the finish line as fast as I wanted to. And you set these goals, right? You set these goals. And why do you set these goals? Because society is a societal norm. Like who wants to buy a house by your time you're 25? I mean, I purchased my first townhome with my husband when we were doing a little math in my head, 22. So no, sis, like that's not like the goal because you are responsible for that townhouse. It was like a huge learning experience of, oh shit, like, hey, at one point, like my husband had put a cigarette butt out next to the AC unit and the grass caught on fire, which caught the unit on fire, which made the unit stop working. And so now it's due to an insurance claim and you're a grown up now. And do I have that brain? I think it was like I'd have to look this up, but as far as your brain doesn't really form to like the adult state until you hit 25 or something like that. I can't remember the actual age where you are able to make cognizant decisions and not just think about what's in front of you. You're able to look at it as far as what you've been through and make better judgments. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, as far as that's just me kind of spitting there. But trying to deal with an insurance claim when you're like 23 and you're like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Even though I lived through a hurricane and I've dealt with insurance claims with my parents, I'm thinking like, this is mine. Now I don't have anybody to fall back on. And who pays a deductible? And I didn't even know about a deductible. I had no idea. And real life changes. But all the houses don't disappear if you didn't hit your goal when you wanted to buy a house at 25. I'm throwing out these numbers. Don't take this to heart. I'm not telling you need to buy a house at 25, sis. Like, bro, you don't need to have a wife and or, a spouse and kids by the time you turn 30. Like, this is just spitting things. But who placed that? Why did you come to that goal? For me, I have a lot of numbers goals for my businesses, but it's because I'm basing them off of last year. Obviously, I want to increase revenue, and so I'm basing it off of the year before. So, what do your goals look like, and how did you come from that? A lot of the times, like I had goals in my 20s and early 30s, was societal norms because somebody else had made me aware of this, and I'm thinking that that is normal, and if I don't reach normal, then I'm a burden to society. This is just me spitting. I like That's how I felt. I felt if I didn't bear children by a certain age, I was a burden to society. Where I formulated that from, I have no fucking clue, but it's like, okay, get married, buy a house, get a dog, have kids, have more kids. Like there was no room for me growing. It was hit these targets. So all of my goals were based on somebody else's opinion. And I was so afraid of letting them down, whoever them is. And when I really got to thinking, okay, I didn't hit my goal or I'm not achieving my dream here, and I had set up so many things, and I just felt like the house of cards is finally falling, and it's no longer dominoes falling into place. It's literally a house of cards, and shit. I'm I'm fucked. I've literally have dragged my whole family into this, and now it's falling apart, and I'm really upset. But because I feel like I've let everybody down. I feel like I didn't meet their standard. I didn't meet the it's not even a societal norm at this point, because my dream wasn't a part of society. It was just trying to better my family. And I'd literally have been working on this for 2 years, more than that, more than 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And I was just devastated to be thinking you're putting dominoes in order to be able to tick them over to have it knock over in order, and it's literally you've been stacking cards and there wasn't a solid foundation and it's all done crumbled on you. That's hard. But it was because I was really upset of what everybody else, you know, my husband, my kids, my parents especially, thought about me not being able to achieve this. And that was where I was beating myself up. They're going to think I'm the biggest failure ever. And it's like, it's your life, Stefanie. Like, fuck them. If they don't see how hard you have been working, and they don't see how much you've been trying to put in to get to this point, that's on them. That's not on you. What the fuck? What is your problem? you know? I was beating myself up because I thought somebody else's opinion of me mattered more than what I wanted to achieve. And it took me a hot minute. It took me a while to just take a step back. You know, I had the hot, nasty cry where you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, like your face is swollen. Like, what happened to you? You got beat the fuck up. And so I took a step back. I took some time and I got my shit together. I'm like, and then literally I had gotten a couple of emails and the windows started opening, a couple of doors started opening, and it was a sign like, just because you were trying to do it this way doesn't mean that that was the exact way. Just because you were trying to do 2 plus 2 doesn't mean that's how we're getting to 4. And so it's like, okay, all right, take a step back. You've got this. You can do this. So just take it slow and stop putting so much weight on it. And so what if your mom thinks you're a fucking failure? It's like, of all the people in your life to think that you're a failure, it's like, really? Why are you putting so much weight on that one person? So ultimately, there's a lot of alcohol. Hey, you know what? Let's just hold on. Take a minute. It's a good segue. I was gonna say there was a lot of alcohol involved, but let's take a step back. Let's get into this. Okay, you guys, so this can, oh my gosh, my husband, he bought this from, shout out to Early Birds Bottle Shop in Pocosin, Virginia. Picked this up. Look at this bottle, you guys. I can't even get the whole bottle. Okay, it is called Blueberry Spaceship Box by Superstition Cider. Yeah. Superstition Cider is in Prescott, Arizona. Hey, you guys. Shout out to those guys out there. But it's not even, it's like a wine bottle with this cute little stopper on top. I don't even know how to work that. And so I'm gonna push the mic back a little bit so we can get in here. Oh, okay. Oh, it didn't do the little psst thing. Okay, all right. I was expecting more of a psst. There you go. Okay. So it's very let's move the mic back. Okay, so it's very dark. I've got it in my in burger jar that you get when you get like a fancy drink from there. You get to take home a jar because their drinks are expensive as shit. And you should take something home when your drinks are stupid as shit. Or they're not stupid, they're expensive as shit. I apologize. But all right, so whoa, blueberry. Hello. In your face. Oh, got a little snot going on. I apologize. That was a little sniff with snot. A little snot action. Okay. I don't know. This is a little different. It's 5.5%. It's a big ass bottle. Apple cider and blueberry juice. Let's go for it. That's sour. Ooh, okay. And then it literally tastes like somebody poured straight up blueberry juice in a hard cider. I don't know. That's straight. Ooh, God. Ooh, like kind of like a lick the lemon a little bit. It's not horrible. It's kind of got like a wine finish to it too. Look that dry. I mean, it's in a big wine bottle looking thing. I don't know. It's not horrible. I mean, I'll drink it. But super fucking blueberry. Wow. That's a lot. Blueberry. Woo. So, a lot of alcohol, a lot of alcohol, a lot of revelations about what is your end goal. You want to get to the number 4, Stefanie. Let's figure out how to get to the number 4. And I've got to stop letting everybody else's perceived opinions steer where I'm going. Like, I'm a grown ass adult. I'm a grown motherfucking ass adult. Like, here I am, fucking adulting all over the place, and nobody can tell me. I mean, obviously there's laws, but nobody can tell me that that's probably not a good idea, because I've literally had that happen when I was 16, and I'm going to do what I want to anyways, and so you can't stop me. You can't stop me. You can't hold me back. Nobody's gonna hold me down. Oh no. So like, well, karaoke. Well, what's up? You can't take that away. If you have a goal, if you decided this is what I want, this is what I want in my life, nobody can take that away from you. Yes, it might take you a little bit longer to get to that, or yes, it's kind of derailed a little bit, but you got to figure out how to get it back on. Okay, so think of anybody that's invented anything. Think about that. How many times did they fail and got back up and redid whatever they were working on? Like, think about that for a second, because if they gave up and they went into the fetal position, they're like, oh no, I can't do this, then we wouldn't have electricity. We wouldn't have my iPhone that, thank you, Steve Jobs, for persevering. Like, we wouldn't have any of this if somebody gave up because it was too hard. Getting a little real. Getting real. I'm getting to the point. If you give up because it's too hard, think about the things that you are denying, not only yourself in the future, but potentially other people, because they're going to benefit from the awesomeness that you bring into the world. Now, for this, it's going to be my kids. It's going to be my family. It's going to be my parents. Directly related to me persevering and pushing through and finding the windows to get through to get to that solution. So, what's your why? Why are you pushing through? And it can't be because of somebody else's opinion, because somebody else wants you to, because they think it's the right thing to do. You have to keep pushing through because it's what you want for yourself. Okay, I'm going to step off my soapbox a little bit, take a step back. Holy shit, this week has been so stupid. I have cried more than any human should in a week. I've literally screamed at my husband more than any spouse should scream at their spouse. I have had my daughter text me at 10 o'clock at night, can you guys please keep it down, because I'm just in it, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, because I'm just trying to pull apart what happened so I can put it back together. And everybody's alive. Nobody is dead. And that's what I have to keep thinking about, because, oh my God, what is going on? I was so just nasty hot cry this week. So, hey, you got some shit going on. It's not the end of the world. You've got a bad place in your life. It's not the end of the world. Just think about all the things that you have lived through. You have gone through it. You have persevered through 100% of the things that have tried to hold you back. Think about that for a minute. Like, go, you have an A in perseverance. Let's go. So, you are a badass person. You're a grown ass adult. Except for, like, I think I've got like a few. I know my daughter watches. You're a almost grown ass adult. Let's go. You can do this. What's something you're going to accomplish this week to get you closer to your goal? That's your homework for today. We're in school mode around here, you guys. Like, yes, I'm giving you homework. Do it. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's me, Stefanie drinking, bitching and sipping. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.